Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today we're going to talk about your financial blind spots. Those are the areas of your life that stop you from becoming financially successful. And this applies specifically to period 9, so the next 20 years up until the year 2043. And of course, knowing your financial blind spots doesn't mean that you can then just become a victim of those blind spots. Rather, you should try to eliminate them. And by being more aware of them, you can actually turn those around, right? So this is the whole point of why we're doing this sort of analysis. Now, in order to identify your financial blind spots, first you need to plot your Bazi chart. So you go to this link here, and I'll also post a link in the description to the video. Now, once you've plotted your chart, and ideally you have the time of birth as well, this always gives us a little bit more information. So once you've plotted your chart, you scroll all the way down until you get to the last page. At the bottom of the page on the left-hand side, I believe, there is this diagram that is called the 5 structures. Yeah, here are the 5 structures. So take a look at this. And we are specifically looking at the natal diagram. So this is the beige diagram that you see here. This is the one that we are paying attention to. Yeah, not the purple one. The purple one is the annual one that changes every year, but we're looking at the default natal distribution. And we need to look at the water element. So check where your water element is and what it is associated with. So in this case, it's the companion element. Now, it could be the output element, the wealth element, the influence element, or the resource element. So you need to check what element the water is associated with. And that will tell you where your blind spots are from a financial perspective, where you need to pay attention to in order to make sure that you're not falling into any sort of financial traps or that you're not missing out on opportunities. So take a look what that is for you. And even for those of you who maybe you have no water element in the chart, maybe it's at 0%, it doesn't matter. You still check what element the water is associated with. Yeah, can be one of 5: companion, output, wealth, influence, or resource. So if your water element is associated with your output element, then your financial issues or the financial blind spots are caused by your failure to seize opportunities. Yeah, so you may see opportunities, but you're not making use of them. You see high growth industries, for example, but you do nothing about it. You don't invest in those industries, or you fail to provide your services to those high growth industries, whatever it is. So you see the opportunities, but you're not really, for whatever reason, you're not making use of that information. So for you, it becomes very, very important that you learn to seize these opportunities before they become sort of like a mass market commodity. So you need to look out for niche markets that are growing, sort of like boutique industries that are growing. Look out for those and then tap into these markets, tap into these growth opportunities before everyone else does. Yeah, this is what you need to pay attention to. Now, if the water element is associated with your wealth element, then your biggest blind spot or your biggest disadvantage is that your skill set is no longer needed or has become sort of obsolete. So whatever you know now is sort of outdated. It's not that it's completely useless, yeah, but it may just slightly lag behind the market requirements or the market needs. So your financial issues then are caused by your inability to see that you need a new skill set, or maybe you see it, but you're like, it's gonna be fine. And you just don't upskill. So you need to learn something new. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that you've always been the expert So even though right now you lack in certain information or in certain knowledge, it will come back to you. It doesn't. So you need to upskill rather than failing to learn something new, right? Now, the next one is your resource element. So if your water is associated with resource, then your financial issues or your financial blind spot is caused by a fear of taking risks. Now, without risks, you won't get any rewards. And I'm not talking about taking risks, taking stupid risks, or taking uncalculated risks. Yeah. You need to learn to take calculated risks, especially financially. So maybe you need to become more financially literate in order to become better at risk assessment. You need to educate yourself in the financial world so that you can take those financial risks that bring a reward. Now, this is not something that appeals to everyone. I understand. So if you are someone who, you really don't have the time or the mindset or the interest or anything to learn more about financial markets and how to make investments, for example, then at the very minimum, talk to a financial advisor because they are very, very skilled at looking at financial risks and how to take advantage of certain opportunities. Yeah. So this will then help you make better decisions that can ultimately lead to financial success. Now, if the water is the companion element, then your financial issues or your financial blind spot is basically you living beyond your means. Yeah, you're spending way too much money, and you tend to accumulate debts rather than assets. So you need to look into your spending and saving habits. I think this is the easiest to fix, really, because just learn how to make a budget and then stick to it. Although sticking to a budget is probably the hardest part of this. But essentially, this is very much in your control. So this particular financial pitfall or financial blind spot very much is all on you. You don't even need to spend any money on upskilling or whatever. You just need to look at your spending and saving habits and change them, ideally to a healthier model. Yeah. And the moment you do that, you're going to be okay. And there's a much higher chance for you to be financially successful. And then lastly, if the water element is associated with the influence element, then your financial blind spot or your financial issues are essentially caused by procrastination. Yeah, you don't take action fast enough and you delay your financial decisions indefinitely. Whether that is something like, always paying your bills way, way later than needed, and then you have to pay a late fee on top of it, or whether it's just, that you have to maybe put in place a savings plan or a retirement plan. And you always tell yourself, oh, yeah, I can do this next week or I can do this next year. There's plenty of time. And then suddenly you're 60 years old and nothing has been done. So everything has to do with procrastination if the water element is your influence element. So stop procrastinating financial decisions, like literally anything that has to do with money, with finances. Stop yourself when you hear that inner voice saying, well, let's do that tomorrow. No, you do it today. You do it yesterday, actually, right? And then you can eliminate these financial traps that always keep you down. Yeah. All right. So I hope this helped you guys identify your particular financial blind spots. Make sure that you become aware of them and then also act on them. Yeah. It's one thing to know what needs to be done and the other thing entirely to actually then act on this information. But I hope you are all smart enough to act on this. And yeah, please do let me know how that goes in the comments below. If you do have any questions, of course, you can also put them in the comments below. And if you would like to have a personal reading with me, then just get in touch. My email address is in the description to the video. And in the meantime, please help me grow this community by subscribing to this channel, giving it a big thumbs up, and sharing it with anybody who may be interested. All right, see you guys soon. Take care.